They finished 11-5 last season, getting their Lamar Jackson got his first playoff win last season, beating the Tennessee Titans at Nashville, and then ultimately losing their next game. So, Wyatt, let me kick you to you first, since you are on that side of the screen. Who was the best draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens this year in the 2021 draft?
Yeah, I think it was Rashod Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. This is a guy that has a lot of speed, has got incredible hands. Go watch his highlight tape. I mean, this guy can pull down any ball out of the air. If you throw it up to him, this kid's got a chance of coming down with it. He's the guy that I really wanted Green Bay to pursue after, but he, of course, did go before they had a chance to. But with that being said, this is a team that really needed some wide receiver help. You know, we saw all the stuff with they were going to sign Juju Smith-Schuster. He was there ready to sign, as well as T.Y. Hilton. And literally the words used by the GM and head coach was, you are going to be blockers here. That is the words that was used. And allegedly, not sure if this is true or not, but apparently Juju Smith-Schuster walked out of the room and flew immediately back to Pittsburgh and signed. And apparently T.Y. Hilton stayed for the rest of the interview process and then left and flew to Indianapolis and signed. So they literally scared their wide receivers off. So I hope that they take a lesson by this, because they've got a heck of a wide receiver in Bateman, and hopefully they don't waste it away, because Hollywood Brown has been trash. They added Sammy Watkins, but can Sammy Watkins stay healthy and stay on the field? Right. That's the big question, because he's a heck of a wide receiver, but he just can't stay healthy. That's his main problem. So a lot of questions, with a lot of questions roaming about this pick and about the Baltimore Ravens at the wide receiver core, on offense and everything combined. I feel like they went with their best possible option here to fill the gap that everybody was really asking about, which was wide receiver.
Yeah, so one of the biggest reasons why they have such wide receiver issues is because their quarterback cannot push the ball down the field accurately, play after play after play, because he is just a above average quarterback at best.
No.
So, Tori, who is the best draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens this season?
I'm going to agree it was a wide receiver, but it wasn't Rashod Bateman. I think their fourth-round pick, Tylan Wallace, out of Oklahoma State.
That was a great pick, too.
Yeah. He was predicted to be a second-round pick. I was hoping Green Bay would take a look at Tylan Wallace and take him, even over Rashod Bateman, mostly because I can't stand P.J. Fleck and the Gophers, because, well, let's just face it, the Badgers just beat the crap out of them almost every year, so...
What do you hate about them? They're never relevant, except for like the last 2 years. They've been okay,
but they think they are. That's the worst part. And so, like, they acted.
Tori's
like they won a
Tori's like they have hope. I hate that about them. I want to crush the hope out of them. God,
right?
Jeez.
Well, they won the Axe 2 years ago from the Badgers. It was the first time they'd won it in 20 years.
Exactly. So they acted like they had every blind squirrel finds a nut, man. Come on.
that was pretty much it. But I was hoping Green Bay would take Bateman as well in the first round if he was there. But Tylan Wallace, for the fall into the fourth round, the value and everything else where they got him, you can't pass that up. It's like I said, he fell through the second round, he fell through the third round, and down into the fourth round. So it was an excellent pickup. I honestly think he will end up being a better wide receiver than Rashod Bateman is with that team.
Wow. So one of the biggest red flags is right now is every time a player starts to fall is like what do these teams know that we don't know? So that is one of my biggest questions for him going into this season, Tori. But only time will tell. So who was their worst pick for the Baltimore Ravens this season?
So cornerback Shaun Wade, but this is a multi thing. If they keep him at cornerback, this is an absolute trash pick. The kid will be out of the league within 3 years. He's not a very good. He doesn't turn his hips very well. He does not have what it takes to be an NFL corner. He does have what it takes, though, to be an NFL safety. So if they move him to safety, that could be a good pick. But as of right now, they got him listed as a corner, and I do not like that pick for him. He's not meant to be a corner in this league. So. There again, we won't know until OTAs and all the rookie mini camps and all that good stuff. So what their plan is with him. But right now, if they keep him at corner, it's not a good pick. He's not an NFL corner.
On the bright side, they
Torrey-
will be playing from behind a lot this season, so there'll be a lot of non-abilities to really play man up on the coverage. So maybe that was a good pick for them.
Oh my God.
What?
Torrey. Yes, you are right. He has to switch from outside corner, but it's to slot corner. This guy was a top 5 cornerback in the country just 2 years ago when he was a slot cornerback. Go watch the tape. Go watch what this guy did whenever he had Jeff Okudah around him and they weren't sticking on the outside. You are right. He is not meant to be on the outside. But if you put this guy in the slot, he will succeed in the NFL. I promise you.
Okay. No, not.
He is a sleeper. Sleeper for me. And safety wouldn't be a bad move either. I do agree with you there. But he cannot be an outside corner. I absolutely agree. He has to be a slot corner or he has to be a safety.
He's too stiff to play corner. You can't be stiff at all and play corner. You can be stiff and play safety because you could be a missile. But at corner, you can't do that because as soon as the guy starts to blow by you, goodbye. He's gone and he's going to leave you in the dust.
Right. So we have found our nuts and we're playing stiff. So hopefully we can bust those nuts. So Wyatt, who was their Ravens' worst draft pick this season?
Jesus. The worst draft pick that they had was the fact that they didn't go after an offensive tackle. They just lost Brown. Now, I know they just got Villanueva, or as Buck would call him, Vanilla Wafer. I know that they just lost him, or they just picked him up, after the loss of Brown. But here's the deal. This is a guy that's super old. He is, still a talented tackle. But he is getting to the age to where retirement is coming. I mean, it is near. So for them to not go after a tackle of any kind to back this guy up in case of injury, which he's had some injuries in the past, for them to not go after a tackle really made me scratch my head on that one. I wasn't a big fan of that move to not go after any tackles at all, which other than wide receiver I felt like was their biggest need.
They did. They took Ben Cleveland in the 3rd round.
He's a guard. He's listed as a guard.
It's 6'6", 325. They can kick him out the tackle, probably.
They could, but I mean, he's just listed as guard. I don't know if he'll transition to. I mean, the height is there, the weight is there, but can the kid play tackle? That's the big question. Because there's a big difference between guard and tackle.
If you watch him, if you watch his tape, he is a masher. He is great. He's a road grader for run blocking, and if they could teach him to pass block, yeah, he's going to be a great tackle.
So
I think they did.
So Corey, the T word you say the word was if. I mean, pass blocking is very, very hard to learn.
It is
just as Zen here. Zen is really struggling on picking up the pass blocking. From college level, from high school to college. So I couldn't imagine from college into the NFL. So Wyatt, when you're looking at all of the Baltimore Ravens draft picks from this 2021 draft, does their draft picks make them better than their 11-5 record last season?
Yeah, I think ultimately at the end for sure. This division as a whole, I think the lowest draft grade I gave was a B-. I mean, and we spoiler alert, I'm not going to say who it is. We have an A+ coming up because there was. I mean, here are my grades: B+, A+. B and B-. Everybody really had a solid draft in this division. Everybody did stuff to get themselves better, and the Ravens were no stranger to that. They added to the wide receiver depth where they needed. Like I said, they could have gone with a little heavier at tackle. I know they brought in the guard, but they can play tackle, but there's a lot that still needs to be done to get to that point. So it's kind of one of those I'll believe it when I see it moments. But overall, a solid draft. They got 2 good wide receiver weapons, filled some defensive needs that were out there as well. So overall, like I said, solid draft. I give them a B.
Tori, what about you?
I was a little harsher on their draft. I really do like their draft class. They got great value. They had 7 picks, but none past the 5th round. So they got good value picks for them, and they actually did really well. I was a little rough around them. I gave them a B- on it. And that's mostly because of the Rashod Bateman pick. I do like the pick. I just think that there was other things that they could have done at that point with as deep as this draft was. So that knocks them down a little bit in my book. So I gave them a B-.
So the question that is lurking here, Tori, does their draft make them better going into the 2021 season?
I don't think so. I think they're still about an 11-5 team. Are they going to be?
It would be a 6
or 11,
it'd be 6 or 12.
Yeah. So Yeah,
Seven-
so they're
17
either going to be
games.
11-6 or
That's
12
so
and 5.
uncomfortable. I'm gonna mess that up so much.
Yeah, it'll probably take me a good 4 or 5 weeks to really comprehend what's
It'll take
going
me
on.
a good 4 or
So
5
I'll say-
season to get
I'll say,
adjusted.
yes, they're better by
About
one
the
game.
time
They
that they're
go-
gonna switch
they
it
go
back.
12 and 5.
So what you're saying is the Baltimore Ravens, no matter how good or how bad their draft was, ultimately lands on the shoulders of Lamar Jackson.
No, that is not what I said.
Oh, that is what I said, and they'll probably go.
You are looking for anything to
they
say
will go
something bad about
6-11.
Lamar Jackson.
I mean, facts are facts. I mean,
They're
Folks,
not
hey,
facts.
hey,